on the other side of the world, literally across the Pacific from you, in the Indonesia going north to Japan region. And so when you see this huge cluster happening right now over the past few days, well, that means California, north to Cascadia, it's just a matter of weeks.
Yeah.
Really.
Now,
I mean,
what's the best site do you recommend people to look at? You mentioned Global Incidence Maps. Is that the best one?
Well, there's a whole series of them that I've assembled. I have a link on my main YouTube page that says earthquake monitoring links, and I've assembled just dozens from all around the world. But the ones that I use, I'm using Earthquake 3D, which is a program that pulls all the USGS earthquake feeds. It doesn't give you European. It doesn't give you South American. That's where the other information sharing websites come in handy. So Global Incident Map is one. There's also another one called the IRIS, I-R-I-S, and they also cross-list from multiple agencies. So you need to use one of those if you're trying to figure out what's going on internationally. USGS
can they go to your link as well too and check it out? Because you mentioned it on your YouTube. Is there would they be able to find this on your website or anything, Dutch?
Yes, most definitely. On my YouTube page or on my blog, I have a link called Earthquake Monitoring Links, and you click it, and I've got it organized by continent, so you can go down through all the U.S. stuff and then go around the rest of the world and see each of their own seismic agencies, all the ones that are available online right now.
Okay, and that's Dutchsinse, SINSE.com, right?
Yes, Dutch, S-I-N-S-E, and that's also on YouTube, spelled the same way.
Okay, great. Hey, what's going on with the volcanic activity? I mean, you know, if the Earth shakes and dances, it has a little friend that comes out too.
That's absolutely right. There's been a series of volcanic eruptions that have occurred. Most recently, I just mentioned it in passing, Mount Lokan in Indonesia, north of Australia, and it rumbled. It gave off the strangest sounds. Somebody recorded it, just broke on YouTube a day ago. You can listen to the sounds, and they're like thuds that came up from deep underground, and then that was followed by a large ash eruption. And now Mount Lokan has erupted in the past. It is an active volcano, but it's right on the edge of where we're talking about here, the plate that's subducting. So that's not the only one. There was activity in Russia this past week, and I believe that was Kamchatka, gave off a series of steam plumes. And then at the North Pole, north of Greenland, near the Svalbard region, that's an undersea volcano that is erupting there. And that was just sent to me, a link that was just sent to me a day ago. I've thought that was earthquake activity. Each time we've been seeing North Pole activity, that is actually a volcano, folks.
Hey, Dutch, I brought up just about a week ago just about temperature changes too, where, you know, Southern California was in the hundreds for a long time, which is, you know, that's maybe a day or two, but, you know, it was for a couple weeks. And then Hawaii was like 32 degrees. Does these temperatures, do you think, have anything to do with the activity that's going on?
Well, there is a connection, and this is something that I think is a budding science maybe. It might be something somebody might want to look into for a thesis paper to get your PhD, which would be the connection between magma and the weather patterns. Because they have found out, and this is something that I've kind of pondered myself, which is they found out that the magma underneath the Earth rotates in eddies and pools, much like you'd imagine a river would flow, but it's liquid, molten metal, and rock. And we know that that does have an effect with the upper ionosphere, and the Earth's magnetosphere is also tied to that. And there's just by accident or by coincidence or by definite plan that the weather patterns themselves rotate in the same direction that the Earth's mantle rotates. Now, they would have us believe that those are not related, just like those earthquakes aren't related around the Ring of Fire, right? But,
yeah.
But my theory, my hypothesis is that the weather patterns themselves are tied directly to the magma that's flowing underneath the ground, and that electromagnetically the storms are controlled, which explains why they've gone down that road for weather modification with like HARP and these other frequency devices are using electromagnetism. That's what they're using. And so, yes, I do believe that if you have a temperature differential sometimes could be a significant factor that plays into an earthquake scenario or a volcanic eruption. And the only reason I say that is because there's a temperature variation, cold and hot, that occurs with frequency manipulation, like HARP. They can cool things down or warm them up with electromagnetism. Well, if that's happening with a man-made source coming from the ground, imagine what Mother Nature can do in certain spots at certain times. That explains earthquake lights. That explains strange freezes. That explains the weird fogs that appear before earthquakes because of the temperature variation.
Wow. Well, hey, Dutch, we're going to pop out into commercial. You know what I'd like to do? You just brought up the word HARP, and we're definitely talking about weather. When we come back after commercial, let's talk a little bit about HARP and see if maybe HARP has something to do with all this action going on.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Okay, great.
I love that I can get on the computer and place my order, and I have a full kitchen's worth of groceries first thing in the morning. It's like magic. It's like Santa Claus.
Bellevue mom Linda loves Amazon Fresh's home grocery delivery service.
I work full-time, and it's hard to find the time to do the grocery shopping. And if I do have time, I don't really want to take two little kids to the store.
So, what do you like about Amazon Fresh?
You don't need to go to the store. You don't need to worry about taking your kids in. You don't need to worry about making the time to do it.
We literally live about 3 blocks from a grocery store, and it's a nice grocery store. We don't do any large-scale shopping there anymore because it's just way more convenient to use Amazon Fresh.
Amazon Fresh. Fill your cupboards, not your schedule. Visit AmazonFresh.com.
Charlie McGrath of Wide Awake News here with a special offer from my friends at BuyEmergencyFoods.com. It's the BuyEmergencyFoods.com QE3 special. That's right, the Fed has reached into its bag of extraordinary measures one more time, only to pull out more of the same, but this time, there's no limit to the money printing. This promises one thing, higher cost of basic commodities such as energy and, of course, food. Guys, at under $1.50 a serving, the BuyEmergencyFoods.com Legacy Premium Freeze-Dried Storable Food is not only the best tasting, not only the most healthy, not only the highest quality freeze-dried storable food on the market, it's an outstanding value as well. Be prepared for QE to infinity with BuyEmergencyFoods.com QE3 special. All orders of $200 or more will receive a free portable water filtration bottle system. Just use promo code QE3 at checkout. BuyEmergencyFoods.com. Call them at 888-543-7345. That number again, 888-543-7345. Better yet, visit them online at BuyEmergencyFoods.com.
Ever consider where you'd go when disaster struck? Weather disasters like hurricanes, tornadoes, or tsunamis. Man-made disasters like civil uprisings, riots, or anarchy. Your survival and the survival of those you loved is your only concern. And it's ours, too. We're Deep Earth Bunker, and making sure you stay alive and survive is our business. At Deep Earth Bunker, we've created steel shelters, safe rooms, tsunami pods, underground condos, and survival bunkers that far exceed the safety, security, and survival specifications set by any other company. Our designers and fabricators are experts, and we accept absolutely no excuses for anything less than perfection with our products. Deep Earth Bunker engineers will work with you tirelessly to meet your requirements to design all the bells and whistles you want in your bunker. Very simply, if you ain't happy, we ain't happy. Contact Deep Earth Bunker today and learn how you can live through almost anything. Call 800-955-6273 or visit deepearthbunker.com.
Welcome back to Deep Earth Bunker Radio. I'm Rob Reynolds with Dixon Troyer, and we have Dutchsinse on the line. And Dutch, just before break, we kind of started mentioning HARP and its possible effects on weather. And just to start it off, going back to the Fukushima earthquake, do you think there was any connection there with perhaps a HARP element?
Well, this is an interesting theory, and it was proposed by a scientist from Finland by the name of Arto Lauri, and that's Artolarie. And he is a ex-nuclear worker, worked in the nuclear industry, worked at the reactors over in Europe, and he proposed this theory right after the Japan earthquake happened. And what he said is that before the Japan earthquake, and we're talking weeks before the Japan earthquake, there was an emergency that occurred in Japan that was documented by the mainstream media. It's kind of hard to find, but you can go watch his video. He talks about the whole thing. But I'll break it down for you in a nutshell. That before Japan, before the big earthquake, there was a nuclear problem that released a large amount of radioactive material into the air. And it was trying to be shoved under the rug. And it is his contention, Arto Lauri, the nuclear physicist frequency devices were being used to strip electrons in the air and send them to ground. And what that was doing was it was taking a radioactive material that's in the air and pulling electrons from that radioactive material as it's particleized in the air, sending those electrons to ground like a lightning bolt, but you can't see it. It's just particles going down to Earth's magnetic ground, and changing that substance that's in the air into a non-radioactive inert substance. Okay? And now this is what we're talking about is basically transmutation, okay? But done with frequency, which is possible, especially since you can strip electrons from the air now with an ionospheric mirror, for instance. So HAARP itself it uses electromagnetism to influence certain things, anywhere from deep in the ground all the way up into the upper reaches of space. And they do this from multiple ground-based stations around the world, one of which, the master control, you could call it, would be up in Alaska at a place called the Hello?
We're here.
I'm getting a bad feedback.
Uh-oh. We're still here. Everything's good on our end.
Okay, hold on.
You there, Dutch?
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you, Dutch. Hello, Dutch.
I got a problem. I don't know what's going on here. I'm on my cell phone, too. This is weird.
Are you? We hear you. Are you there?
Hello?
Dutch, can you hear us? Call us back.
I'll call you. Hello? You're cutting in and out real bad.
Okay,
Let me call you
us
right
back, and we'll jump back into commercial here. Sorry about that out there for everybody.
Okay, I apologize. I don't know what's going on here.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with Dutch. He's going to call back in.
Whether you're preparing for survival or just preparing for temporary accommodations, don't forget your toilet and septic system needs and your portable toilet and septic system experts in Mississippi and Alabama, RDI Portables. For portable restroom rentals, roll-off containers, and septic tank pumping, maintenance, and supplies, rely on the portable experts, RDI, distributors of deep earth bunkers for Alabama and Mississippi. Call RDI at 662-327-3403. That's 662-327-3403. RDI, portable toilets and septic systems. So you're convinced, you're ready, you're in the market for a deep earth bunker. Now, go to North Carolina's only deep earth bunker reseller, Carolina Bunkers. Carolina Bunkers has them all, from simple storage bunkers to a second home bunker, where you can go to get away from it all. In addition, Carolina Bunkers carries the only real milk recovery drink, Phase 3, loaded with vitamins and 80% lactose-free. No refrigeration needed, and 12-month shelf life. Contact Carolina Bunkers today at 919-568-8095 or visit carolinabunkers.com.
Welcome back to Deep Earth Bunker Radio. We were experiencing a little bit of technical difficulties. Dutch, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got a text. It's conspiracy is what they're saying, Dutch. Dutch, I'm trying to shut you down.
This is so weird because I was just getting ready to talk about HAARP, and then here comes a high frequency through my phone, and it was so loud. I mean, I'm surprised you guys didn't hear it. It was wee.
Well,
okay,
that's just right before they put the tornado on top of you too. So watch out. It's in your basement, Dutch.
We could. That's happened, guys. Believe it or not. Where was I? I was talking about HAARP. Okay, HAARP is the High Frequency Active Aurora Research Project located up in Alaska, and it's a series of large antennas that have been built, and they're powered by, well, now supposedly an infinite source of energy by natural gas turbines, and they pump, well, by their own admission, up to 1 billion watts of energy into a small spot up in the upper atmosphere. It can go anywhere, like I said, anywhere from deep underground all the way up into upper space. They can focus this device, and it's a series of antennas that they project a frequency that will bounce either off the atmosphere. Literally, they can heat up the atmosphere in what's called a tiltable ionospheric mirror and bounce this signal around. They can bounce it back down to ground and go deep down into the earth, or they can just let it keep going on up out into space. And they can heat up or cool down certain areas based upon frequency. And that's HAARP wrapped up in a nutshell. And now they would tell you that they only use it for experimental purposes, but I'm here to tell you that they can use it for everything from missile defense to causing an earthquake. And the way I know it causes an earthquake is there's other doctors, PhDs. There's one, Dr. Brooks Agnew, for instance. You can go onto YouTube. You can type in how to make an earthquake, and you're going to find a History Channel episode narrated by Captain Riker from Star Trek The Next Generation,